view and a playing point of view, for these guys, it's very valuable. There is no substitute for experience. The Stampeders are taking the opportunity, given the circumstances here in the second half of this ball game, to get valuable playing time for some of their young players and have them prepared should they need them later in the season.
Milanovic-Litra has his first CFL touchdown. First 2 touches for the youngster out of Vancouver, and Simon Fraser, the 4th round pick, getting some playing time tonight. Powers his way into the end zone, and like these Stampeder fans tonight, a night he will never forget. You never forget your first one.
Yeah, this is a young guy. Didn't get the immediate invitation to the National Combine, went through the West Regional. Was one of the standouts there. Did a tremendous job blocking. That was what caught the eye of a number of teams. This is a guy who can play both fullback and back up at running back, as we've seen in the last couple of plays. Now getting an opportunity.
53-1. Ante Milanovic-Litra, the latest to join the party here tonight. What a party it is for the Stampeders. 22-year-old newcomer, predominantly been playing on special teams. Ante Milanovic-Litra, and his first ever CFL touchdown.
I think it's a safe bet with that hair that the ball labeled Thor belongs to him.
It does. Lots of that hair here tonight. Alex Singleton as well.
Let's go, Jim!
Milanovic-Litra play both tailback and fullback. Simon Fraser, Jalen Saunders, and downfield quickly. Litra's down there for the special teams as well. You like that number, though, for him.
Yeah, it wasn't my number back in '92, but eventually, once Andy McVay retired, I was able to take my number of choice, so I'm proud to see number 34 doing well here in his rookie season.
Jerome Messam giving the kids some love as well.
You know, and he might not be on the roster today if not for the injury to Rob Cote.
Yes.
At fullback. It's kind of opened the door.
Jeremiah Masoli's in the game now. This is kind of like one of those NBA games. Get to the 4th quarter, you know, it's called garbage time. And who would have thought garbage time would happen with still a quarter and a lot to play? But here's an opportunity to get some other people in the game, maybe protect some people as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of things at play here. Much like Andrew Buckley needs playing time in the event that anything should happen to Bo Levi Mitchell, Jeremiah Masoli needs that playing time as well.
Masoli's played some big game football for the Cats through the years. Steps outside the pocket, and Kevin Elliott has his first catch, and that's the helmet off of Jamar Wall, and Seontae Evans a little over aggressive on that tackle. No flag down.
Just getting back to the quarterback switch for Hamilton, the other piece that you alluded to, Rod, is protecting Zach Collaros. There's absolutely no point in adding injury to the insult of a 52-point deficit by getting your starting quarterback hurt in a game that, never say never, but a game that you're not going to win.
Solely out of San Fran, California, played at Ole Miss. Oregon as well. There he goes. He's good with his feet. Jeremiah Masoli. Big run here. 18-yard pickup. Shaq Richardson, who helped change the game, made the tackle. He changed the game in that first half with his pick 6. Have you ever seen a game quite like this? And I'm sure you've been on both the receiving end and the giving end of games like this. And I'm talking about one-sided games. But have you ever seen where all 3 phases are absolutely unstoppable?
Yeah, and honestly, you sometimes have those days. Football is very much a game of intangibles at this level, where the talent level from team to team isn't that drastically different.
No.
Yes, there are differences. There's no question of that.
But not 52-point difference.
No, they're not such huge differences, and we've seen that in most of the games played in the Canadian Football League this year. But where the difference lies a lot of the time has to do with intangibles, things like momentum. Along with momentum goes confidence. Things like your chemistry. Little things that, as I said, can't be measured, but have an impact, certainly, on the performance of the team.
2nd and 10, Masoli again in shotgun. Has some time, now goes over the top down the sideline looking for Brian Timms on that fade route, and nothing there. Tommy Campbell shutting that down.
Brian Timms, a guy who hasn't been targeted a lot in the first portion of this 2017 season. Someone we thought would be relied upon a little bit in this Hamilton Tiger Cats receiving core, particularly when Terrence Tolliver went down early. Things haven't played out that way.
Go, Tracy, go, Tracy.
Castillo off the side of his foot. Bad kick. Looked like it did bounce, though, near the 29-yard line. That kind of night. Shut down for the night. His work has been done really at half. 11 of 17, 197. Let's go down to Farhan Lalji now.
Rod, earlier in the game, Ante Milanovic-Leiter scored his first touchdown, and the equipment staff saved the ball for him. Bo Levi Mitchell was hoping for the same courtesy a week ago when he threw his 100th touchdown pass. He threw it to Marquay McDaniel, and in his celebration, he wound up giving the football to a fan, a young fan named Cooper Johnson. He came back to the bench. Bo said, "Where's my football?" And McDaniel had no idea what he was talking about. He had no idea it was the 100th touchdown because Bo hadn't talked about it at any point. Eventually, they had to figure out they needed to get that football back. McDaniel said he was fortunate that he was in the first row in an area where they knew where he was. They were able to go there. They gave him a different football. They also gave him a McDaniel jersey. The whole team wound up signing it, and then today they gave young Cooper a chance to be on the sideline during warm-up. At the end of warm-up, he had a chance to meet Bo. He had his jersey and the ball signed again. Pretty memorable occasion for the young man. And he just said, he goes, I think it was pretty nice to give it back. Fortunately, he didn't try to charge $100 for the 100th touchdown or anything like that.
Well, one step further, he might play tonight. The way it's been going for the Calgary Stampeders. Become a bit of a laugher now, and what a great night for Cooper Johnson. We did that game last week, and it goes to show you sometimes just go to a ball game, anything can happen.
A great moment for a guy who's a very dedicated fan. You know, they had talked about.
He had a great number on, by the way, his previous jersey. Did you see that was 31? That was your old jersey number.
My original number, yes, in my early years, but he gave that one up in a hurry.
Now behind him, Anthony Parker. So it goes dino to dino. Andrew Buckley and Anthony Parker. We don't talk enough about it seems. So many players in the Canadian Football League about, the natural progression for a player from university football. We're going to be joined by another Western Mustang in a few moments, but you know what it's been like, but especially here in Calgary and the Dinos, what they have meant to the CFL and the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great tradition in this program going back many, many years. I think particularly back to the 80s, starting in the days of Greg Vavra, another quarterback who went on to play in the Canadian Football League.
What a dart thrown by Buckley to Michel.
You look at a play like this and you wonder why some of the most successful teams in the league are successful. Everybody's going to have injuries. Everybody's going to need backup players to play. A lot of time it's going to be all about what those guys do when they're in the game. You look at Mark and Michel pushed into this game, into starting action when Kamar Jordan, their leading receiver, was injured early. Well, what has he done? Well, he's been their leading receiver today because that's the guy he needed to replace. Andrew Buckley comes in for Bo Mitchell. He continues to produce.
William Longley gets a touch. Everybody getting a touch here tonight. Mark and Michel, by the way, has 184 receiving yards on the night.
Yeah, monster game for him. Of course, we saw Travis Lulay a few weeks ago with the most passing yards off the bench in history. I don't know what the mark is for most receiving yards in history for a non-starter.
There you go. Find that out. Andrew Buckley, 5 of 6. First and 10. Buckley. Out pattern down that sideline for Tavares Daniels. And Andrew Buckley, who's really only received a lot of playing time in the preseasons, getting some valuable playing time tonight and shining. No, this is not a typo. 53-1. Calgary Stampeders is my man. And there's the Sponge who's going to join us in a moment as they salute the 92 Grey Cup champions. One of the greatest receivers in Calgary Stampeder history, one of the greatest Canadian receivers ever. Number 25, Dave Sapunjis, who was a hero so many times for the Stampeders over the years, but certainly in 1992, the Stamps beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to win the Grey Cup and enjoyed the champagne and is enjoying the reunion tonight with his old teammates. Good to see you, Sponge. Good to see you there, brother. And congratulations, 25 years. You look,
I know.
You look like you could still be playing.
I wish. If I had Flutie out there, maybe. But yeah, we certainly had a great week this week and a lot of laughs. And it's just great seeing some old friends that you bonded with years ago.
Looks like the current edition of the Stampeders knew you guys were in town.
Yeah, they're trying to show us up, I think, from the 92 years. We had some good games and some blowouts, and certainly tonight's a blowout.
Andrew Buckley, the young Canadian quarterback, at the helm here. Has it batted right back to him. So Buckley with a pass and knocked down. Right back to Andrew Buckley. I'm sure you're proud watching a young Canadian quarterback, but I want to go back to 1992. Take us back to this moment.
Oh, this was fantastic. I love this. This was, we went into that game, we beat Edmonton by 1 point in the Western Final, and then we went into this game feeling very confident, and we moved the ball well. I mean, it was great to be indoors with the offense we had, and scoring a touchdown in the Grey Cup was certainly a thrill for me.
What did it mean to you, Sponge, to be playing that game at home?
Yeah, I love that. That's right, Wade. I loved it. Had a lot of family there, and it was certainly emotional, and we, boy, I think we had a ton of people. We bought a bunch of tickets that game, but it was worth it.
You guys had your quota on Western Mustangs on that team, by the way. Just wanted to say that.
Thanks for the plug, hey, 40.
Well, we were laughing yesterday. This is like old times for us, because I can honestly say, in my life, in all the football huddles I've been in, there's nobody that I've stood next to in more huddles than Sponge, going back to our time at Western.
We had a lot of fun. I know, what a night. Look at all the great players, a bunch of friends that we played with. They're all looking fantastic, and they had a great week. I mean, it is amazing when you bring guys back together you haven't seen for so many years, and because of that bond, you feel so good about it.
Rene Paredes to add to this margin. Uh-oh. Well, Buckley might be throwing here. Andrew Buckley now throws. And it's incomplete. That's the beauty of having a holder who can also throw, but there's a penalty flag in the end zone.
Well, we'll see if it's an ineligible man downfield, or given the way Hamilton's luck has gone today, if this ends up being pass interference.
Bobbled snap.
The ring to play.
There it is, Rene Paredes.
Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 30. After distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
You ever been part of games like this in your
We have. We were on the other side once against Toronto. They scored 79 points on us, and that wasn't great, I'll tell you what. But isn't it great to see a Canadian quarterback out there? I love that.
It is. A couple of them in the league this year with Brandon Bridge as well, and Andrew Buckley. So first and goal. Been a tough night for Kent Austin here on the reunion night for the 92 championship team. Buckley looking to throw his first CFL touchdown pass, but he keeps it on the ground.
So Sponge, what's been your favorite part?
Well, one of the funny things was when Flutie and I walked into the locker room yesterday morning, and we were there, and then all of a sudden the players came out from meetings, and they saw Flutie, and they went up to him and they said, "Flutie, we've got to get a picture because my grandma wants to see you." That was crazy. So you do feel a little bit older when you're around these young guys.
Time flies, though. 25 years ago, and it was, of course, 21 years since the Stamps had first won the Cup in '71. There's Buckley, and there it is. makes his first CFL touchdown pass, and wouldn't it be appropriate? It would be a dino to a dino. Buckley to Anthony Parker.
Regardless of the score of this ball game, a great moment for Andrew Buckley, and as you said, dino football. We saw a few of these guys from both teams congregated together on the field before the ball game, having a reunion of their own. So many Calgary Dinos now in the Canadian Football League.
Sponge, you must have brought some magic to your team here, because being a Canadian guy, and you wore that Maple Leaf proud for so many years.
I sure did. So did 40. We loved it when the Canadians were out there and doing well. It's great to see this.
Buckley has his first touchdown pass. Milanovic Litra got his first touchdown. Parker scores. Sponge, great to see you.
Rod, wonderful. Thank you for having me up here, Dwayne.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, well. Thank you.
Champions from '92. Watching the 2017 Stamps roll tonight. There's another football for a trophy case. Andrew Buckley, number 15, his first touchdown pass as a CFL quarterback. And isn't that a great moment with Anthony Parker, two Calgary Dinos. Parker gets his first of the season. By the way, Andrew Buckley, since he came into the ballgame at halftime, 10 for 10.
It's not bad.
60-1. In the year of the catch in the CFL so far, but also the year of close football games, this is what you might call an outlier.
Yeah, every now and then you're going to get one of those, and unfortunate for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Just 102 yards.
Just a dominant, smothering performance in every aspect of the game for the Calgary Stampeders.
And here it is. It doesn't get easier. There's
no relief in sight when you're staying on the road in your next games in Edmonton.
Against the undefeated Eskimos. You're going to drop to 0-5. The Eskimos are undefeated on the season. How do you shake off something like this?
Well, there are some games that you're going to have where...
Well, Sponge said it, the 75 points, obviously they did. But still.
You know, as a coach, and particularly in the game of football where you're always looking at game film, sometimes you just burn the film and move on. Don't dwell on the negative. This might be one of those burn the film weeks for Kent Austin. Just try to keep it as positive as you can. The confidence, the psyche of this team
was fragile coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's being beaten down enough by what the score is. I don't know if necessarily having every mistake pointed out and everything that's gone wrong is going to benefit them on a quick turnaround.
Feel for a team that's hardly been in the opposition territory. If it wasn't for Castillo's single punt, I mean, this would be a shutout right now, 40. I mean, that ball just barely got in the end zone. They've hardly had any drives. Might be one of the most lopsided games in CFL history.
Well, certainly in terms of gameplay, it has been. Whether on the score, we know the margin right now, certainly the largest lead in recent memory.
Third largest margin ever in a game, plus 59, behind a plus 68 and a plus 60. So one of the biggest beatdowns ever. Look out, Masoli almost took out the referee.
And the Calgary offense will get another chance right here. See another of the young Canadians, Michael Kashak, out of McMaster, in on the pass rush.
So Castillo once more. Bounces out of bounds. He's been the busiest guy here tonight. So too the scoreboard operator. Ford, Farhan Lalji, our entire TSN crew here on what has turned out to be a nightmare night for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ricky Stanzi's in quarterback now. You know when you go to a third-string quarterback and there's lots of time left that you are well in command. We did the game in Winnipeg the other night and both of us left there shaking our heads and said, we do not believe what we just saw. I'm almost saying the same thing here tonight.
Yeah, for very different reasons. You know, as Rod Smith said after the game, for very different reasons, you're asking what just happened.
This one got completely out of